Welcome. And let's talk about it. Bernie Sanders, right? And his Fight the Power campaign. Chuck D and other members of the hip hop group, they were performing at the Sanders event in LA under the name Public Enemy Radio, an offshoot of the brand that omits the founding member Flavor Flav. Flav, meanwhile, demanded that the group disbanding will be withdrawn from the event's publicity. You know, it's a mess. He doesn't like that everyone's kind of using the Public Enemy name and the brand. It's a bit of a mess, man. Well, they're using it for the Bernie Sanders campaign, push. That's what it's about. They're fighting about Flav is like, look, you're not gonna just take the name and just run with it. We ain't having it. And Flav is like, I'm not having it, and I'm not gonna let Chuck, do it either. So Bernie Sanders' LA rally is to fight the power with hip hop icons, supposedly with Public Enemy. And they're supposed to perform at the Bernie Sanders rally and the LA convention. Right. This was going on. It was staged. And they're showing Flavor Flav and Chuck D. And it was Bernie Sanders with Public Enemy. Fight the power. Flav blasted this whole thing because he has nothing to do with it. And he says they continue publicizing of this grossly misleading narrative is at a minimum careless and irresponsible, if not intentionally misleading the people. And they were. Flav was not going to be in attendance, though they're showing Flavor Flav there, and Chuck knew what they were doing. It was a bad stunt that they just can say, "Oh, that was an accident." No, it wasn't an accident. You knew that. Flav put out a campaign statement saying, "We have become aware that Chuck D, who was Flavor Flav's former mate and co-creator of Public Enemy, has endorsed Bernie Sanders' candidacy for president and plans to perform at an upcoming Sanders rally." This was written, of course, by Flav's attorney. While Chuck is certainly free to express his political views as he sees fit, his voice alone does not speak for Public Enemy. The planned performance will only be Chuck D of Public Enemy. It will not be a performance by Public Enemy. Those who truly know what Public Enemy stands for know what time it is. There's no Public Enemy without Flavor Flav. The letter went on to proceed that is calling out Sanders for use of the trademark material reportedly without Flav's consent, and called the ad for a planned rally is grossly misleading, which is exactly what it is. Sanders has promised to fight the power with the hip hop icon's Public Enemy, but this ripe icon will not be performing at the Sanders rally. To be clear, Flav, and by extension, the Hall of Fame hip hop act Public Enemy, with his, which his likeness and name has been become synonymous, has not endorsed any political candidate in this election cycle. And any suggestion to the contrary is plainly untrue. The continued publicized of this grossly misleading narrative is a minimum careless, irresponsible, if not intentionally misleading. And it's true. They're using it for a campaign prank. Not a prank, but a rally. And Chuck knows, he knows that Flav ain't gonna be there. He know using the Public Enemy name and the logo like that is misleading, but he's all for it. They have an ongoing legal battle behind the scenes, so they automatically knew that this was not going to fly. They knew this. Flav has always delivered the authentic self that he is. His authenticity has always endured to people and not to mislead Public Enemy. When he was doing Flavor of Love, he did not say this is Public Enemy, Flavor Flav. He said Flavor Flav. Flav went and made himself hot on his own. Flav went and made himself hot on his own. Chuck could not. Chuck could only make himself hot with Public Enemy. That's his known, his staple. That's everything. Flav is too much of a character to ever be limited to just one thing. The Flavor of Love show was one of the highest rated shows on VH1 still to this day. You know? Yeah, well, it is what it is. Yeah, we're trying to do the best we can, to give you guys the best information in the world. Um, but what I don't understand is the direction that certain people are taking. Like Chuck D, man, he's been taking some very uncharacteristic approaches. That's unpublic enemy like. And this has been going on for years and it just haven't really been spoken on. I'm quite sure, Mr. Muhammad, I was just finna get to that. These are some of the things that Griff alluded to when he left Public Enemy years ago. That Chuck has been moving in a pattern that hadn't been Public Enemy for a long time, which led to the group really disbanding and start taking directions and doing things that the group shouldn't have done. Like
When I want the good.
Oh, I don't know what that was, but like doing songs with even Anthrax. When Anthrax did a remix of Bring the Noise, a lot of people from Public Enemy won with that. It made them a lot of money when Anthrax redid did the Bring the Noise and had Chuck D on it. It made Public Enemy a lot of money. And I think that started a lot of the problems right there. Started from there. And then from that point on, things just went left. But they've had a run, like their first 4 albums is probably the most iconic in hip hop history. Like they have Fear of a Black Planet and Nation of Millions is probably in the top 5. Both of those albums is probably top 5 hip hop albums of all time. Yep. Their direction changed and they went into a whole different field after that. But beforehand, do you think he's a top 5 MC? As far as content concerned, yeah. But Chuck Range was always political. So he was always up there. He always had his word had intellect as far as teaching and things of that nature. But could you see Chuck D doing a love song talking about a relationship? That's not his bag. So his range was always one way. Chris had more range. Blastmaster had more range. I mean, yes, Ra cared more about like Eminem. They care more about what they rhyme was saying, the patterns. Ra cared more about his that than the actual record actually connecting with people. He can give a damn. But Mahogany was a monster. So over me. She was going crazy. She rubbed me on my chest and called me Mr. Sexy. She said she had my kids and helped me make my next G. Tell me I ain't finesse Mahogany. So she says, why I don't smile. I said, everything's fine. I'm just in the New York state of mind. And from that point on, New York state of mind. And you know what that verse end up leading to? The New York State of Mind song. If it wasn't for Rakim's, we wouldn't have the Nas's. So you need all of these people. You need the Chuck D's. But I've talked too long. uh yeah. So I got another video that's gonna air on Carcino for Life channel talking about the T Grizzy and the Royce the 5'9" situation. We're going to do a video later on about Megan Thee Stallion. Right now, she's screaming about her contract. They might not gonna send you guys a notification. So that's what I'm telling y'all right now, to go over there and check for that video. It's already posted. It's gonna come out in like about 2 minutes. Deuces.